Welcome back. Well, when something happens once or twice, it's an exception. When it happens a third time, it's a trend. But when it's repeated 1,000 times over, it becomes ignored. No big deal. At least when you're in the mainstream media covering left-wing rabble. What was once a media that shrieked in horror over a tacky Tea Party sign now shrugs at occupier terror. 3 men were charged with trying to commit terror with Molotov cocktails at the NATO summit this weekend. They're delightful. Apparently, the men wanted to attack the president's campaign office in Chicago, as well as police stations and the mayor's office. Now, these stories glide by without commentary, unlike the heady days of Tea Party persecution when mainstream hacks gleefully mocked the movement like their aging grandparents. But if it were the Tea Party in Chi-Town, the media would be calling for the National Guard. Lefty bloggers would be screaming as soon as someone broke a nail. So how weird is it that the more outrageous the protests get, the less excited the media becomes? Because to reveal the truth means to admit you were duped.
Right.
Yep, with OWS, reporters fell for the same crud they fell for in high school. Attention-seeking narcissism masquerading as concern. In the end, when a loser doesn't get what he wants, he just blows it up. But like a cop gesturing to gawkers at a crime scene, the media now says, nothing to see here, move along, and then Googles Romney and Bain Capital for their next column. Bob? So you said it was no big deal hearing the same old thing. Well, you only hear the same old thing because they keep doing the same old thing. They're insane.
I listened to your monologue. First of all, the 3 people who were indicted on NATO, there anarchists who were around way before Occupy Wall Street.
Of course, no link.
There is no link.
You said that last time with Cleveland and the next day.
Maybe I'm proven wrong, but we'll find out. I doubted on this one. The anarchists have been following NATO meetings and World Bank meetings for 20 years. They come from all over the world. They do the same thing. They
Bob,
protest,
they're in their 20s. They weren't in the 1999.
To suggest for a second that they represent the left is, well, it's typical. I mean, you just like that guy that carried a gun to a Tea Party person.
There you go. That's all I need to know. One example. And who carried the gun? Do you know who carried the gun?
Tea Party person, yeah, black guy.
Can I say, does Bill Ayers represent the left?
No.
He doesn't represent the left.
No. He did a fundraiser for Obama.
Does David Duke represent the right?
No,
does David Duke represent the right?
You made a comment that these guys don't represent the left. They're anarchists who want change.
That's exactly right. They do not represent the progressive forces in this country. Any more than I think the Nazi David Duke represents you.
Bill Ayers has the exact same talking points as these people do.
That's ridiculous.
He's bombed police stations. Yeah. He's bombed statues. He's bombed Washington, D.C. It's the same
I just got
group,
finished
Bob.
telling you it is a fringe element on the far left, just as David Duke was.
It was one you used to love about 3 months ago.
I think your point about media attention on it is interesting because at what point does a fringe element turn into a trend, turn into something that...
It's mundane. Now it's like they don't want to talk about it.
Right, it's like if you avert your eyes, it's not happening, or it's more along the lines of, oh, they're just kids.
Yeah, exactly. It used to be how heroic.
Right.
Then it was like, oh, we're embarrassed. But I got to say, Kimberly, we had to hand it to the Chicago police for doing a great job. I think it's been pretty calm, right?
Well, sure. And I want to speak more to your point about the fact that the media is ignoring it because, yeah, they have egg on their face because everybody was sort of celebrating these people, how inspirational. We have our own movement now, Occupy Wall Street. And now we've seen they've approved themselves to be thugs and a violent element, very similar to Bill Ayers. So I don't see how that's a distinction with any kind of difference whatsoever because these are the exact things that he was preaching, that he was talking about, and that he was engaged in.
Well, it's not easy for these cities to hold one of these big meetings, and I think Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who used to be chief of staff at the White House for President Obama, he was not going to allow anything major to happen, and I think he led it very well.
I think they did a very good job, unlike in 1968 when I was just a very young teenager out at Grant Park when there was a police riot. And they knocked over and sent to the hospital thousands of demonstrators. I would say this: they've come a long, long way. I congratulate them from being thugs and rioters.
Yeah, of course, call the cops thugs. All right, here's the point. I don't want to squeeze more juice out of this lemon. I'm with you, Bob. I don't want to talk about them anymore. But the problem is they keep making the lemonade. They just keep doing it. They Occupy Wall Street and the media who ignore them.
That was not Occupy Wall Street.
Yes.
Those were people. Those are the anarchists that follow this around. You follow the NATO.
The National Lawyers Guild is involved with Occupy Wall Street and involved with these punks.
Even if they're all together and they all have a Klan meeting every night. By the way, I think we did. I mean, I don't know if they represent me any more than Timothy may represent your side. Is that a fair statement to make?
Well, you did laud them early on.
I did.
You did. You lauded them highly.
There were people in the
nobody
original.
was supporting Timothy McVeigh, Bob.
I just want the media to be honest.
I don't think he represents conservatives. I think he's a fringe, just like I think a lot of these people are. But you guys associate him with everything on the left.
No, the beauty of it is the media did. The media romanticized this movement. They put him on the cover of magazines, saying this was the new movement. This was the real Tea Party. Then they fell apart. Now they're just scum, and now you're running away.
Remember, they were the people of the year.
Yeah, they were the people, the protesters.
The PT.
We're not running away from the message, which is an even unfair system that rewards people at the top and does not reward other people.
But we are running
that message.
Put on your bandana.
That's the best message.
Coming up, we got to take a break.
So blow them up.
Yeah. Coming up, over 40 Catholic groups have filed lawsuits over Obamacare on religious freedom grounds. Details are next. If you leave now, Dana will crush another butterfly with her cold, heartless hands.